And welcome back to another episode of Casey Campbell's Videocast. Of course, I'm Casey Campbell from Great Lakes Post, and we are now joined by NHRA driver, Top Fuel driver, Antron Brown of Don Schumacher Racing. Antron, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just getting through it, just like everybody else, just one day at a time. And I tell you what, I've been a jack of all trades lately, doing a lot of stuff around the house, landscaping, working on stuff, building stuff, making stuff, fixing stuff, handyman. I mean, I don't know what I am, but I'm a jack of all trades right now, Case.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, you're doing a lot. I'm from what it sounds like, you're keeping busy, and plus you also have three kids as well. How are they handling all this?
Some days they do better than others. They've been enjoying it for the most part. The good thing is that we have neighbors that live right next door to us, where we all been quarantined together. You actually do it in groups. You get what I mean? Like batches, like you all together. You're safe. Everybody's literally we have two neighbors side by side, and the kids been playing like every other day with each other because this is like their quarantine circle. So they've been good playing basketball in the yard, playing tag, running around, riding bikes. So they've been making the most of it, but it gets stir crazy when you're staying in one spot for so long, and then you have to get creative and find new things to do. So that's the main thing right now, is just trying to stay busy, stay focused, and make it the most of the time that we have.
Yeah. Obviously, the big news yesterday, the NHRA postponed until August. Your reaction to that and your thoughts.
Oh, man, I wanted to go. Like, the thing about it is you got to understand the times that we're in, and understand, it's very easy on the outside looking and say, man, we should be racing like in June. Like, we should be racing now. We should be picking the places we can go to. But at the end of the day, you can't, because all these states are in different turmoil. You know what I mean? And to understand how this state has a more intense situation than this state, and then you have to do the travel where you go here, then you go there, and then you go, well, this state's open, we go down here. But then you have another race that's only 4 hours away that you can hit the next week if you're already on that side of the coast. So I definitely wouldn't want to be in NHRA shoes right now. They have a lot of tough decisions. It's hard decisions. You're not going to make anybody happy. And the main thing is that we just got to focus, which you're doing right. They're focusing on our fans. And the fans are what makes the sport go. And they're just trying to make it where they're going to put them in a very safe environment and cause them to enjoy themselves and not be nervous. So starting later is probably the right decision than starting sooner. But I still think that we could do something to engage our fans in these next 2 months. You're talking about August 1st. So you're talking about you got all of May. You got 3 months, all of May, June, and July, that I think that we can maybe come up with something that we can entertain our fans. Maybe we could do some just racing that's just televised or something of that nature. And I know that we're all going to work and come up with some creative ideas that we can do to engage the fans. I think that's a long time of them not seeing some nitro burning.
Have you thought? I mean, I know a couple like Ron Capps and Pendergrass have tried iRacing. Do you think you want to get in that?
That would be fun, man. I just don't have an iRacing rig. You know what I mean? I did get hooked up through Toyota, through TRD, where they gave us a PlayStation 4. And they gave us a little setup with Gran Turismo that they're a part of. So I got to do a little bit of that, you know what I mean? But not the iRace. So you have to have like a gaming PC and the whole 9 yards, and I don't have that stuff. So I'm one of those outdoors type of people. I'm more hands-on. And Ron, man, he does that stuff like every day, all day. And I go stir crazy sitting still inside the house, bro. I gotta go. Like, I'm outside. Like, I'm a worker. I got to get out there and do things. You know what I mean? I'd rather be out there like really racing like my motocross bike or like a side by side or something like that, or actually go do the real deal. You know what I mean? I'm more hands on. It's hard for me to sit still.
Yeah. So I mean, I know we had 2 races in. Was there really? How do you think you guys were doing until that point?
Well, I think Pomona, Pomona, the first race, with Brian Karate back on the team, we still have a lot of things that we're trying to work out with the car and get the car back to where it needs to be and figure out some bugs and get it to where it can be quick, consistent, and fast. And in Pomona, it actually showed its face of some of the turmoil and the problems. And then we went to Phoenix, and then we literally, we had a decent outing in Phoenix where we made it to the semifinals, made it down to 4 cars, and we actually found out the culprit that race of what was holding our car back, what it was doing, and why it was doing it. And when we did that, it was it felt good, where you see the sigh of relief, you see Bryant, Mark, and the rest of our guys all right, we got something now. The car's responding, is doing what we wanted to do. So I was really looking forward to going to Gainesville, because starting to bounce back and getting to what we're used to doing, and this is being competitive every lap that we go out and trying to be the number 1 qualifier. It's and one of the deals where we used to go race and we used to go push hard, but now with Brian back, I know that he's aggressive. He's a team builder. He makes other people better, including myself and all the people around him. And it's just incredible just to have him back in the fold, to know that you have that you just have that talent that's right there sitting on that team. That's definitely could take you to the next level, that you can go back to championship form.
What's it like to, having Brian Karate back? Of course, you two have made some pretty good memories together, winning some championships. What is it like to have him back with your team? How did you convince him to come back?
Man, well, it's not that he wanted to leave, but he wanted a new challenge. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know the inside story and stuff like that. And he really wanted to go tune a funny car. That's what he really, really wanted to do. And he's won championships in Top Fuel, but he's always loved funny car at heart. And for me, me and him always talked about different things, and I always told him that, in the road in the future, that I like to be a team owner. And the way we're going to orchestrate that, is bringing in a team that we can all partner in it, that we're all in it together. And he's always wanted to be a part of that. And, I've been kicking around and figuring out how I can do it and when and how. And then after I talked to Don Schumacher about it, and he was like, all right, well, let's see how we can make this happen. And he's been instrumental also along this whole path, and saying, I'm never going to stop people from growing and doing what they want to do. And that was the blessing that I needed to really start doing this. And Don doesn't want me to fail. So that's the good part about it, where he's behind me, and we're taking it one step at a time, growing that way. And but this whole deal right now has been putting a damper in my plans, where it's been setting us back, because now you got partners and sponsors where their businesses are just waving, you know what I mean? Everybody's at a standstill. And so it's hard to really move forward with that right now. And right now we're just focusing on just surviving this year and getting through this year. And then by the end of the year, we can reassess and keep on going along with the plan, but it's going to take a little bit longer than what I would have hoped, because I wanted to do it sooner than later. And I wanted to make a couple of changes, and maybe change directions a little bit in my career in racing and do some different stuff. You know what I mean? Contemplating on, making a switch to funny car one day for sure. So, yeah. So just want to really reassess, and, time will tell, and we just got to get through this epidemic right now, and just try to be better, get better during this time, focus on how to be better, not just to maintain, but we got to get better through all this too.
Are you confident that NHRA will get back on the track this year?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think every sport, motorsport, I think that we have to get back on track. I think for us to sit idle is killing everything. You know what I mean? And NASCAR, to get the excitement and to get people, their minds off of the stuff that's happening day to day, you have to give them an outlet. And I think that we need to be that outlet. Because, through all the social media and all the fans writing, they're all talking about it. They says, man, we just want to see something. We want to do something. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan's Last Dance is like the #1 rated show on TV right now. Stuff that happened back in the early 90s and late 90s is like on TV. Like, people want to see stuff like right now, like live, like what are we doing? You know what I mean? And I think that we can give it to them. We just got to figure out how to change, evolve, and give people what they want, especially with all the outlets that we have now to do it. It's we definitely got to step up our game on that program, and NASCAR's on it right now. They're going to be starting here in May.
Yeah.
So once that's getting going, I think that's going to really pave the way for everybody else, not just for motorsports, but for all sports, because they're going to say, hey, well, they're doing it. You know what I mean? The NBA is going to be next, and then Major League Baseball is going to be next. You know what I mean? I think that's why I think that we need to be proactive and be out there sooner than later also.
All right. Well, Antron, thank you so much for joining us. I know you have some big plans this weekend. You're going to go see your good friend Steve Torrence get married.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good event, man. I think that's something that, when some things happen that are bad in the world, there's always some good things that happen. I think this is going to be a good thing. This is going to be a crucial time in his life and Natalie's life and his whole family, man. This is something that he's been striving for a long time. So I'm just happy to be there to witness it and see my brother right there tie that knot. And marriage is a very special thing. So I'm looking forward to just being there and being a part of it and just taking in that memory with him. You know what I mean? So it's going to be pretty awesome.
All right, Antron, thank you so much. We'll have you, we'll talk to you pretty soon, and hopefully NHRA gets back sooner rather than later.
Absolutely, Casey. We appreciate it having me on, my friend.
All right, thank you, man.
Anytime.